Hi, I'm Dr. Ed Jacobs from West Virginia University with my colleague, Dr. Chris Schimmel. And we have a group counseling book out that we're going to be talking about, and our goal is to talk a little bit on these YouTube clips. We're going to make a series of 6 or 8 of them on group counseling because we've been teaching for more than 20 years. And we think we've got something to say about group counseling that's a little different than what maybe is being taught. And we come from an approach. Chris and I do an approach called impact therapy, and you can go to the website impacttherapy.com if you're more interested in that. Chris.
And I'm Dr. Chris Schimmel, and I coordinate the school counseling program at West Virginia University. And unfortunately, a lot of school counselors at times get away from running groups because it's a little scary and they're nervous about getting kids to talk or stay on task. And a lot of the skills that we want to teach, that we do teach in our group counseling class, and the skills that we want to focus on in these YouTube clips really can help you understand how to conceptualize your group a little more clearly. And we're going to give you a lot of skills that you'll then be able to use to make groups seem not so intimidating and not so scary. So we're excited to be able to do these clips.
Yeah, this is the intro clip, and we're gonna do another clip on common mistakes. We're gonna do 2 clips on group leadership skills. Then we're gonna do a clip on process versus content. And then we'll do some later ones on basic group skills, beginning group skills, and some of the essential things. So hopefully if you're watching this one, you will watch the other 6 or 8 YouTube clips. Chris, why don't we talk about that basic concept about people don't mind being led when they're led well?
I think, Ed, for a lot of people that grew up sort of leading groups 10, 15 years ago, there was this idea that the group had to run itself, that the members were primarily responsible for whatever happened in the group. And if you learn and subscribe to the impact therapy approach, one of our guiding beliefs about group is that people don't mind being led when they're led well. So we believe certainly if we train good group leaders and you go in and we give you permission to lead the group, that the members won't mind it, and the groups will actually be much more productive and much more beneficial to the members if the groups are led well.
And there's a lot of different kinds of groups, not just therapy groups or not counseling groups, but there's task groups. Everybody working in an agency or in a school is going to lead a task group. And we're
school counselors might lead IEP groups or SAT groups.
Yeah, or running a meeting takes skill, and many people watching this will have been in meetings that didn't run well. Well, if you learn the group counseling skills that are in our book, because we talk about even one of the skills, we'll talk about it a little bit later, like cutting off. You have to be able to cut off people if you want to keep control of your groups. Otherwise, that parent in the
parenting group.
Yeah, or in the IEP group or any of those will.
Right, they can take over and then the meeting is not as productive.
Right. So that's a basic difference, or what we teach is impact therapy is an active, creative approach to counseling. And we think, and it also says to make it multisensory. In almost any group that you lead, make it multisensory. Use a whiteboard or a chalkboard. Use visual images. Why? Because the brain likes novelty and will tend to remember those things. So we're going to be talking later on, when we talk about group exercises, some of the creative exercises that you can do, just that gets members involved. I think all of you, we have an audience here. If you're watching the YouTube clip, there's an audience of our students watching this. And the key thing is the art of engagement. That's what a good leader does, is make sure you engage. A good teacher does that. Make sure you engage the people. A lot of people, unfortunately, worry just about the content. But it's also, and many of you have had our classes, and we keep you interested by varying the format, and we'll talk about those skills.
And I think what Ed is saying really leads to a second belief that we have when it comes to the impact therapy approach to leading groups, and that's this guiding principle that a good group leader is creative, courageous, and always make sure that the group is not boring.
Let's talk about the leadership style. You want to do the, put on the board this. Chris made mention of this about facilitator. You'll hear the word facilitator or you'll hear the word leader. I learned way at Florida State when I was there, I learned a model way over there of facilitator. Facilitate the group. Yalom, which some of you out there will read his book, he talks about facilitating. Carl Rogers talked about in his book on encounter groups, it was facilitating. We think that most people it's okay to lead your group. And so we teach a model that's sort of about right here to lead. Fritz Perls had one way over, and he just was the dominant force in the group. We don't say that. But a lot of groups, drug and alcohol groups, elementary school groups, they need to be led. And so not facilitate. You do a drug and alcohol group and you facilitate, it's chaos. Or Rachel, you were saying that you know, up there, you've got to organize that, or many of our students are going to be leading groups with college students that were caught smoking dope or drinking beer on campus underage. And you got to lead that group. They won't, if you facilitate it, you'll be talking about legalizing marijuana is what it'll be about.
Yeah, some of the students earlier were just expressing concerns about even starting the class or starting at their practicum sites. And what if I have kids that don't talk? Well, if you're of a facilitator approach, you sit there and wait until the kids come up with something good to talk about, and that's not productive. Those kids will come up with something to talk about, maybe the new puppy that they got over the summer, or anything, a whole range of topics. But they're in your group for a specific purpose, and you want to lead the group and have structured activities and ideas about how to get the group focused on the topics that you want to discuss.
One of the concepts that we teach in impact therapy is the depth chart. 10 is the surface, 9, 8, 7 is going deeper. This is especially helpful with group leading, because if you're not careful, your group will go 10, 9, 8, 10, 9, 8, 10, 9, 8, 10, 9, 8. You know, it'll jump from member to member to member, and it does not, you never focus it and take it below 7 where there's impact. What a lot of leaders that don't know how to lead, and some of you've led groups and you were just glad they talked and filled up the hour, but that's not having much impact. Take your group below 7. That's what you want to do. And if you don't have skills, then you turn it over to the members and you do end up talking about stuff that's not relevant. So those are the things, as a way of introduction in this one video, I mean this clip, and then we're going to do some others. I hope that it introduces you to the idea of it's okay to lead your group. And Chris and I have tons of passion about leading groups. I mean, we go around the country doing workshops. This is being made in 2013 and 2014 at the National Group Conference. We're going to present 5 different workshops, where we're going to show this, because I'm getting ready to go to Australia and New Zealand and present on impact therapy in groups. So for more information, go to impacttherapy.com.